Hey YouTube, good afternoon.
Hey YouTube.
I'm Tillette.
We're back with another banger. No, I'm playing.
He forgot to say his name is Chad.
I'm Chad. Yeah.
And we are the Richards. Today we thought we'd do a little something different because that's what we're about. We're trying to do something different. We don't have a shopping spree to go on today. We don't have a hibachi grill. We don't have nothing. Y'all already seen our room. This is the one plain war room we have. So today, I figured why not do what we do best and have a smoke session.
Smoke session.
How you feel about that?
I'm totally fine with it.
And I figured while we do this smoke session,
but I had to ask her first though. Like, wait, can we smoke on it? Like, I know people smoke and stuff, but I don't know how it goes, so I don't.
And please excuse us because, like I said, we're just getting started, so we're trying to find the right angles, the alignments, the lighting. We looking at the camera. I'm looking over here. He looking over here. So I'm just trying to make it so that we can give you good content and you can be happy watching us, because I feel like YouTube is getting a little still. I am so tired of seeing everybody shopping, buying cars, and doing it. Sorry about that, YouTube. Like I said, we trying to get everything set up straight. Hold on one second. So hopefully that stays. If nobody breathes. I'm sorry, YouTube. My mouth is hurting me a little bit. But like I said, I thought that we'd do a sheesh session. I don't even know what it's called. It's whatever.
That's what they call it? A sheesh session? What they call it?
A sheesh.
A sheesh.
Like shh-ish.
Shh-ish session?
Yeah.
Smoke section.
A smoke session, pretty much. We ain't in a hot box and then we in our little room. I mean, luckily for us, the facility that we are in, they don't come around checking the rooms and, hey, what's that smell?
They do, but,
we're very discreet. I'm a very clean person. I have sprays. I have Febreze everywhere.
We got the cleanest room in the shelter.
I have cats.
You could come eat off the floor in our room.
I have cats in here.
She sweeps and mops
and we don't even use
day.
kitty litter. I trained the cats to use wee-wee pads. If you can see real quick, you can see that they use wee-wee pads. They don't even use regular litter because I just feel like it's so unsanitary.
Yeah, we potty trained our cats. They potty trained.
Like I was saying, I don't want this video to be too long, but what I wanted to do was for you guys to get to know us a little bit better. Chad and I started dating in August of 2012. It's a funny story. I was on my way to work and he was on his way to work late as usual. And I was smoking a cigarette and his pickup line was, "Hey, won't you give me that cigarette? You too fine to be smoking a cigarette." And at this time, I was like 150 pounds and everything. So I was looking real right, looking real cute. So he was like, she look good. And ever since then, honest to God, you tell it, babe. Ever since that day, he asked for my number. We have never stopped talking. And now it's August 2012. And here it is, February 8th, 2013, and we have never stopped communicating. Yep. We've barely spent the night away from each other.
We was walking down Francis Lewis Boulevard in Rosedale.
That's Queens. We're from Queens.
And I was walking to the cab stand, and she was walking to the
bus stop.
Bus stop going towards the airport because she was working at the airport at the time. So I'm walking with my friend, and we walked right past each other, and once I passed her, I said something of the sort like, give me that cigarette. You don't need to be smoking that cigarette or something. And we started conversating from there. I don't really remember too much what we said, but I remember we started conversating from there.
I remember he was like, "Give me your number, so I'm gonna talk to you."
Oh yeah. She said you said I was too young. That's what you said. She said I was too young.
Because you have to realize I'm 34. And my husband, Chad, he just turned 31. I'll be 35 July 4th. So, you know the rule of thumb. Women is more mature than men. And men, they mature slower or whatever. And in some cases, it does show. But what can I can say that I haven't been here this long for no reason. Something else you guys may want to know about us. My favorite color is aqua. Your favorite color is?
Blue, red and blue. Red and blue.
He changes it up every time.
It's either red or blue. It's either red or blue. Sometimes it's red, straight red. Sometimes it's blue. But I like red and blue. Those are my favorite colors.
Okay.
And
yeah. Mainly what I wanted to say is how we wound up in the shelter. I was in Queens. He was in Queens. I was living with my grandmother. He was living with his family. And
I was living with my aunt Stacy, rest in peace. She passed away maybe 2 years ago.
And it didn't work out with the living situation. So he called me out of the blue one day. He came. Excuse me, I'm checking on the cat. He came he came to my house with his car filled up with suitcases, and I'm like, what's going on here? What we going on vacation? You taking me on a trip? We out? I ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I know. It
was a bummer.
It was crazy.
So me being,
it was just
being who I am, I'm not gonna let somebody that I've been talking to be out on the street. Now, mind you, a lot of people may not believe this, but when we first started, I put Chad on a 90-day rule. There was no sex, no nothing until 90 days, and
that shit flew by though.
We lost our virginity November 22nd in 2012. We went away to Atlantic City and had a whole bunch of fun. And at this time, I had left my grandmother's house because of the room situation, and we went to go stay with my mom. So he slept on my mom's couch with me, and we made it work until we were able to save up enough money to get our first apartment on Hendrick Street. We lived on Hendrick Street. Now that apartment right there, it was a basement. Yeah. But when I tell you
never again,
the rats,
never again. I'll never live in a basement again. I'm straight on basements.
I cooked food one time in the dinner, and I was cooking a rat.
Literally,
he was in the bottom of the oven. You can't tell me you didn't smell his burnt skin. You don't want to remember.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But it
so
was
what
shit
happened?
Like that. Then it was
Okay, so what happened after we left Hendrick Street? I don't remember.
All right, after we left Hendrick Street, we since the apartment was so bad, we got our security money back.
Oh, we moved in with the
packed up the car once again. Packed up the car.
Packed out the Mustang.
And the sad part about it was we had a dog. That's the dog. That's Roscoe. That was our
my husband.
That's
cried.
the dog that you saw us play humping in
our
the other video.
First video ever. My husband was humping the dog.
Yeah, he was an English
Roscoe.
bulldog,
and that was actually the
I
basement
got
we
him
were
from
living
one of my
in.
coworkers, and I love that dog, man. I love that dog, and I'll never forget that same night. We packed up all our stuff. We had our security money. We packed up all our stuff in the car, and we drove to Target. We had drove to Target, and I met one of my friends in the parking lot of Target.
And luckily, we had somebody to put him in a new home.
Luckily, we had a good home that he was able to go to. So he's in Jersey now.
We were living in the car.
Yeah, he's in. Well, I guess we was living in the car, in a hotel.
So after that, what happened was we started going to hotels day after day after day after day after day, and that became so expensive. My husband was stressed. I could tell in his face he wasn't eating. The only good thing about it was the hotel was maybe 10 minutes from his job, but that was
it. It was so.
It was enough. Once we realized we had spent $1,000 in a week, the BMW became our new trailer.
That was our new trailer, right?
Can you imagine waking up in the morning, having to use the bathroom, wash your teeth, everything, and people be like, "Oh, you could go to McDonald's, you could go to Wendy, you can go to all these places." You can't do that.
You can, but if you
can, you want to wash up with husband and wife. You want to go in the bathroom and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's hard. So we would have to get gallons of water, wipes,
so much.
Go into the bathroom in a bag. It's been so hard.
We did it all.
I started out at 150 pounds.
Yeah.
I weigh 110 now.
I was always skinny my whole life. I was always skinny like this. You know,
we're just saying that to say that,
you know,
it can all start out good, and in the blink of an eye, you can lose it all. You count your blessings, count the people in your family. Like me personally, I have no family. I had a father that made me, that left me. I do have a mother, but I just got my mother back after a few years. That's another story. As far as grandparents from my father's side, they're dead, they're gone. I only have one other grandmother. My mother had a twin sister, and she passed away last year, so I only have one other aunt. So the other family I have is from my husband, and his family is in Florida.
And my family is like, just like family, you know, just like that's your family, like that's my family out there, really, you know. I went to school in Tampa, Florida for 6 years. I lived in Tampa, Florida for about 7 years.
Tell them why, because you was getting in trouble, being
bad.
I
was up here. I was out there getting in trouble and stuff. So I wound up moving back here to New York to live with my father, and it went okay for about maybe a year and a half.
Sorry to
2
interrupt.
years.
He's missing the detail. Him and his father's relationship is not a father and son ideal relationship. He made him. His grandfather raised him. I'll just say that. It makes more sense.
My grandparents raised me. Yeah, my grandparents raised me. And, you know, that's why I get all my mannerisms and all of that shit from my grandparents, you know. Everything, you know. My father taught me a lot of stuff, too, but not like my grandparents. Sorry.
Still working on it.
Sorry.
Bear with us. We appreciate you all for just taking the time to look in.
So I came up here, and me and my father was living together, and you know, we was going half on the rent, and you know, I was really starting to do manly things, you know, paying bills and stuff like that. And what happened? I don't really remember what happened. We got into it, and I went to go live with my god brother out in Long Island, and I was working in Brooklyn still, so I was just doing a lot of traveling. And
he's missing the part of it. I'm going to interrupt him. He wound up getting a very, very good job with Brooklyn, New York. He works for the state of New York, and that's the only thing that has been saving him from this day forward.
That's the only thing, because I don't have really much education. You know, I didn't finish school or anything.
Okay, I love my husband, but he is a rambler. If you meet him in the street,
I don't know what you're talking
he'll
about.
talk. You'll ask him, "Hey, Chad, is the weather red?" And they'll be like, "No, it's blue out."
And I'm trying to think about it too. You know,
you going back to when you came out your mother's womb?
Nah, I'm not going back that far. But I'm trying to tell them, you know, like where to how we got like right here. All right, so I was living with my godbrother, then I finally got my first room in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens, and I stayed there for a little while, and then some bullshit happened. And then I got a kitchenette. I was so happy to get this kitchenette. I got a kitchenette in Rosedale, Queens, and that's when I really had my own, boy. And I stayed there for a few years. I lived there for about a good 3 years, 2 or 3 years, and that's where I met her. And one day I was
really good if you smoke. Let me.
No, that's not when I met her. I moved in with my aunt after I bought my own apartment. After I got that kitchenette in Rosedale. After that, I wound up moving to live with my aunt Stacy, rest in peace. And that's how I met her. One day I was walking to the cab stand because I was running late, and she was walking to work, and
it's been history ever since then. We've never been apart.
And then after that.
So to make a long story short,
that's it.
We stayed at my mom's house in Queens, and
we stayed there.
The whole time we were in the living room,
on the couch.
Not being ungrateful. We had a place to stay, roof over our head. But as a married couple, we had just got married, been married a year. It was just a lot. somebody walking in the kitchen, they farting, making eggs, and you trying to sleep. It does stuff to you, you know.
If you real recognize real. Y'all know how that go. Like
after that, we moved into Hendrick Street, and then Hendrick Street was the worst. And then from Hendrick Street, back and forth on the streets, living wherever we can, abandoned buildings. And what wound up happening is his job facility wound up closing down. So we was like, let's have the smart idea. It's closed down. Let's stay here. Now, mind you, they have no water, no electricity, no nothing.
No, so we had water and electricity.
And then they cut everything off once the construction crew coming.
Because at my job, it was a big facility. It was like a big campus, and it was 5 buildings, and it had a big brick wall around it. And some of the buildings, they wound up being vacant, you know. So,
and we made one of them our home for a month or two.
We went in one of the buildings, and we made one of the offices our room, and we actually lived there because I had a key. Yeah, well, all right, yeah, well, we made it a home for a little while, and yeah, we thugged it out. We thugged it out up at the job for a little while.
Still working on it. I apologize. Once I learn how to edit and get the movie software, it's going to be. Okay, long story short, after that, not me, my husband was walking from work one day, and he was like, hey, baby girl, I found a trailer. And I'm like, a trailer? What we pulling on a trailer?
That was when we moved to...
He meant a whole live trailer.
Yeah, one day I was coming home from work.
So this man
35 foot, right?
This man went and bought us a trailer. No electricity, no running water, no amenities, no nothing. And that was the hardest part of our lives. And we stayed there for a whole year because we are not the type for handouts or anything. We went to food pantries. We went and got a hot plate, rigged electricity from the light post. And I just said we went to the food pantries and everything. Yeah, we got the electricity from the light post, you know, so we can get a little bit of heat. Because we would wake up and go like this. When we wake up in the morning, it would be like this. That's how cold it was. It was hard. We couldn't charge up anything or whatever. It just was depressing. It was demoralizing.
But
and let me finish. It broke my heart every morning when I had to watch my husband get up from the bed to put on his clothes to go to work while I'm trying to get the stove working just to have him something to heat in his body, because I know the only relief that he was going to have is when he got on the train. That's where the heat would come from. And me, I would have to find some place to go. And I wound up meeting this wonderful, wonderful old man named Harold Hayward. God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
He used to let us come charge our phones. He used to come let us eat. If we were so cold, he would let us spend the night. And I remember Thanksgiving of 2014, we went to my husband's family house in New Jersey, and we came back, and this man had 2 twin beds set up for us and said, you know what, I know y'all don't got much, y'all welcome here. And we stayed there ever since April of 2018 of when we came here. We've been there. And after Harold, it literally like, where were we gonna go? What were we gonna do? And I was like, the shelter is the only way. And it's
it was like the only last option.
It was our
last option. We didn't at this time. We didn't even have a car to stay in if we wanted to. So
we got on the train with 10 bags.
A cat, everything.
Little as I am, I'm carrying 10 bags,
pushing 2 cars,
shaking and struggling, hungry, and then on top of it, it was raining
a lot.
But we made it through. And I remember the first night we got there late, so we had to go to Auburn, which is in Brooklyn, lug all our luggage and spend the night. So then we went the next day. We got placed where we are now. We got a letter saying that we were ineligible, that we can't stay here because there's some miscommunication with the letter with your father or something. So we finagled that. And
when you coming into the shelter system,
make sure all your stories
especially
are straight.
As a couple,
make sure your
stories are straight. Just make sure that both of y'all are on the same page with the story.
And if you bring in anybody in on your story, make sure they're in on your story.
They know too,
because
like
they will check.
You know, they check on.
They will check.
You know, that's the main thing.
They don't care if you had a cat named Linus with you. They want to know about the cat named Linus and how much the kitty litter costs, because they will find any way to bring you down, right? So we get here. At this time, I was working part-time, so I had food stamps, I had Medicaid. So we get to the shelter. They give us a letter. Hey, you're eligible. We're going to get you in a program. We're going to get you in a house. February 27th of last year, we got a letter saying that...
Sorry.
We got a letter saying that the food stamps was cut off. Yeah. And not on top of that, not only were the food stamps cut off, you're no longer going to get Medicaid benefits. And on top of that, you're not going to get a subsidiary. And when I mean a subsidiary, I mean Section 8, HRA, excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, like I was saying, you're not going to get a subsidiary, you're not going to get HRA, you're not going to get no disability, no other programs. The only thing that you qualify for is the SOTA program. Now, don't get me wrong, I am so grateful for something.
Y'all know any brokers, send them to us. They get SOTA, they get money.
SOTA program is what allows you a year's worth of rent up to $1,500
as long as they take our
for
program,
the whole
they'll
year.
Get paid.
And after the next year, it's over with. Now, I feel like I've been in this place going on 2 years, and I get offered a year's help with only a $1,500 limit with nothing else to help me out with. God forbid something else was to happen, I would be right back in this situation. So it's like, what kind of help are you really getting? You know, and people be like, "Oh, girl, what you doing making videos for YouTube? What, you should be out here working. You should be." Yeah. You don't understand. We are working. I just said my husband works for the state of New York, the state, not the city. He'll be able to retire with a 401k. You understand?
But, I do have a job.
I do accounting work.
God, I got.
You got to realize the cost of living doesn't add up to living comfortably in New York. So why do you think people go to the shelter? There are people in here that walk out of here with stethoscopes on with their scrubs because they're going to their medical profession. We have people in here that are paralegals, work for EMT, work for construction. Everybody in here is not a crackhead or a dope fiend.
It's nurses in this motherfucker. It's nurses in here. I seen it. It's a nurse that lives in here.
Everybody in here is not a crackhead.
Nurse.
Everybody in here is not a dope fiend.
We're just homeless. We're not like fucking crackheads, or we're just homeless.
And you know what's sad? It's the connotation that goes with, you're in a homeless shelter, you're homeless, you ain't about nothing.
And then we're in a facility where you can't cook, you know what I'm saying?
There's no stove, there's no refrigerator, there's no microwave, there's no nothing.
Shit, things like that we got it. It's some things that we got.
How are you really supposed to thrive in a place like
but
this?
You're not supposed to have. Because,
and then if you look at the demographic in here, it's nothing but a whole bunch of people of my complexion. If they're not my complexion, they are white, and there's maybe 2 or 3 of them. And guess what? Those are the ones that already have came and gone and got placed in places. So it makes you think this place is designed to break you down, appointment after appointment after appointment. Now, if I'm telling you I'm working, why would you set me up for an appointment at 11 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you set me on a housing appointment for a 5-bedroom home in a home, and then the homeowner is not even there to open it up so I can see the apartment? It's like, what kind of hope are you giving people? What kind of aspirations am I giving people? What I can say is, if you're at home with your mother and father, stay there as long as you can. If you're in a relationship and you have a roommate, stay as long as you can, because it is hard out here. Nobody wants to be like this, saying, I'm in this shelter and this is what it's like. It's hard. You don't even know when your next meal is going to come.
Yeah, that's real humbling.
I don't have any children yet.
You don't know where the next.
He doesn't have any children yet. Being here, it's so depressing. It's messing with my body. I can't get pregnant. And next door, he's beating on his girl. And then the next door, they're fighting. And then if they're not fighting, they stealing. You know? It's just hard to get ahead in here. It really, really is. And I just say this as encouragement is, keep your head up. God has a plan.
Keep a smile on your face. That's what I say. That's my little slogan. Keep a smile on your face. Fuck it. Keep a smile on your face.
That's all you can do. If you smoke your little weed, hey, it's legal.
Smile.
And it's going to get better.
Yep.
I hope you learned a little bit more about the Richards. We're going to have more videos to come.
More videos. We're going to tell y'all a lot more. That was just a little snippet. Really, literally.
And if I don't look like this in the next video, no, Chad didn't cheat on me. He's still with the same girl. Let me know down in the comments. You see what he look like?
What?
He will get murdered up in here, okay? And don't get it twisted. I tried to do a little eyebrow tutorial yesterday just to pick my spirits up because, like I said, sometimes sitting in here, you have these four walls and it does feel like a prison cell sometimes, you know?
She's beautiful, though. She got a head full of fucking hair. It's always covered up unless she got it, you know, she got her hair and stuff.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes being in here, it just makes you, like, so depressed, like I don't even know how to explain it. They know what they're doing when they put you in here, you know? This is like a prison. So if you're in the shelter or if you think about being in the shelter, especially the shelters where they have families and you have kids with you, it's not your kid's fault. It's not your fault. Things happen. Nobody knows when everything will be taken from them. God give it and God take it away. You may think you're good today and then tomorrow,
just as quick as he gives it,
boom, you know what I'm saying?
Just
you know,
as quick as he gives
we've been up here,
away.
we've been down here, we've been up here, and unfortunately we've been down here for so long, and we're just trying to find something that works, and we felt, you know, why not document it? Maybe somebody else is going through the same thing we are going through. We done collected cans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We done collected
We
so
got
much.
Stores. We got y'all.
Just like I said, if you're looking at this
stories.
video, please leave us some comments down below. Give us some ideas. We're new to this thing. We would like to be successful.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be like any other couple.
Ask us
on
some
YouTube.
stuff too that y'all want to know, you know, and we'll tell y'all our insight on it.
Yes. Please don't get it misconstrued. We are not into YouTube so that we can go shopping at the Gucci store. Because if that's the case, I can open up my closet. We like good stuff, period.
We want to build a little.
We wasn't raised like that.
Social media thingy.
We just wanted to build a real YouTube for the real couples out here that know what it's like to make ramen noodles every night, or cereal every night, or you know that the laundry got to go on extra week.
Sandwich or peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or a tuna fish sandwich.
Exactly. Or my females, you know what it's like to use the cheap pads that cost $2 that don't have the wings on them. You know what I mean? You know when this little part grow in here and this part grow in here. You know what it's like. A woman want to feel like a woman all the time. Yeah. So like I said, again, we are the Richards. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing. We appreciate all the new subscribers. We hope you stay. And like I said, give us some advice. And with that, have a great weekend.
Peace.
Love you. Mwah.